Just got back from Hazel's soccer game. I went and did an hour of rowing today. I have never done more than like 5 minutes of it, and I decided to do an hour. Blake told me to do an hour. Sorry, Birdie. I've got Locke in the house crying, and Hazel trying to eat, and Brick just needing a minute, so I'm trying to keep this little one occupied until I can pass her back off. It is a tribe day in Utah today. If you don't know what that means, I will show you. So by now, you probably noticed that once again there was not a Destroying the Dadbod episode last week. And I gotta tell you, I have never worked as hard on a particular video as I have on that one. Hours into editing, finding music, getting all of it filmed. And it just sucked. Honestly, it wasn't entertaining. And so I'm gonna start doing them a little bit differently. I've been doing more and more vlogs while still injecting style and all the stuff that we like to talk about. And I think what I'm gonna try to do is basically do like a 2-day or a 3-day vlog and do it in a way where I include talks about style and appearance and all those philosophies and principles. But then also include some exercise stuff too, so I can keep you guys seeing my progress. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see progress photos, you want to see updated measurements and all that stuff as I start taking them, because that is included in it. I like doing the Dadbod stuff because you guys keep me accountable. What? What do you two want?
We want us to bug you.
No, I didn't, I swear.
But if you guys don't want to see it, then the accountability doesn't matter and I don't need to show it to you. So let me know below if you want to see it or not. So today, say hi, Hazel.
Hi. Hi.
Say hi, Locke.
Hi.
So today, I'm going to do something just a little different style-wise. I'm going to try to break... Hey, you said you were going to be quiet. You said you were going to be quiet and let me film. A couple weeks ago, I saw this photo up on Instagram. Now, if you're not following F.E. Castleberry, you should be, because he has, hands down, the best Americana prep style of anybody I've ever seen. That picture is actually of his son, and if you will notice, he's got his t-shirt tucked in, or at least kind of tucked in. And that is a big no-no, but I'm going to try emulating something like that today, because tell me that this doesn't look awesome. I mean, it's young, and that's good. I mean, I think he's like 15 or 16 years old, but there's something, it's a good balance between refined and rakish between those two archetypes, because it's got that kind of waspy East Coast Ivy League feel. That's why I like actually that it's a printed tee. I like that it's cut off shorts, but then the shirt's tucked in, and he's got the classic sneakers. I think it looks pretty cool, so we're going to try it. You got to tell me what you think. So I'm working on a book. I think I've told you guys that. Part of the book is focusing on 6 elements that are essential to truly developing a masculine style. And one of those elements is tribe. You guys have heard me use that word over and over again. In fact, my friends tease me because of how often I use that word, but it's one of these 6 fundamentals, and I focus on it for a reason. And today, in Utah, is ample evidence of why tribe is so crucial. Today is the Holy War, which is the biggest sporting event in all of Utah. The 2 biggest schools, Brigham Young University and the University of Utah, have had a football rivalry for decades, and it is a big deal. In fact, ESPN, I don't remember how long ago, but it was just within the last couple of years, named this as the biggest rivalry in the country. It's a big deal. Now, from a clothing perspective, what's so interesting about this is the idea that so many people today are wearing things that are so blatantly tribal. And you see this, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're in Utah or if you're anywhere else. When it's game day, people wear their team colors. They wear it when they're going to the game. They wear it when they're going to have a party at their friend's house. It doesn't matter. You're wearing your clothing. And these are the same people who most likely will tell you that clothing doesn't matter or that you shouldn't think too much about it. But come game day, they will absolutely be concerned with what they're wearing. And part of that is because it's this tribal affiliation and tribal identification. They get it on some fundamental subconscious level. And it's a good example of why tribe is such an important part of developing a good sense of style, because if I'm a BYU fan and I'm going up to the University of Utah and I'm dressing like I'm a BYU fan, there will be consequences for wearing that clothing. Doesn't mean that I'm not ready for those consequences, but I have to acknowledge that they are what they are. And it's the same thing that you need to understand when it comes to what you're wearing, who your tribe is, who your tribe isn't, and what the ramifications are of how your clothing falls within those tribal relationships. Here's the crazy thing about people deciding that they're going to wear red or blue in accordance with their school is 99% of them are not going to the game. They're going to a friend or family member's house who very likely is also a fan of the same school, and so they're all going to sit in a room together. They're all wearing the same clothing, and so it's just this very tight intra-tribal signaling that, yeah, we're all part of the same group, we're all rooting for the same team. It's not even saying anything to anybody else. It's crazy. It's crazy how much it's rooted in our DNA that matters, that you will put on a t-shirt representing your school on the day of the big game, even if the only place you're going to be that day is in your own living room. It's wild. Like I said, this game's a big deal. My father-in-law painted a giant blue Y in his front yard, and then the neighbors, we don't know which ones, but somebody came and put up flags for the opposing team. It's all in good fun, but there's tribal affiliation, so this kind of stuff, whether it should matter, it's irrelevant, it matters. So I went to bed on Saturday night with 6,100 subscribers, and then I wake up this morning and I'm at 7,300. That's huge. That's a huge jump in subscribers. So first of all, welcome to all you new guys. I'm excited to have you here and checking out the channel. I hope you like what you see. For those of you guys who have been following for a while, the reason that there was such a big jump in subscribers is there were two videos that came out yesterday. One from Real Man Real Style and one from Brock over at The Modest Man. Both of them were basically their top 10 or top 15 YouTube channels for men's style. And I was lucky enough, and I'm honored that I was included in the top 10 for both of them. Big day, especially because both of these guys, Brock's been a good friend forever. He and I are pretty comparable as far as the number of subscribers and readers that we have on our blog, so go check out his site here. But then Antonio over at Real Man Real Style, that dude, I mean, Antonio's been someone I've looked up to for years. I've had the opportunity to work personally with him for the last couple of years. He is the real deal, and one of the things that I love about him and Aaron Marino is that both of these guys are the kind of guys who, they have this huge abundance mentality of, rather than seeing all of us in this YouTube world as competitors, and if you're watching my stuff, then you can't watch their stuff, which obviously isn't true, especially because I know that the majority of you guys who follow me also follow these guys, and so they have this rising tide raises all ships attitude. So go check out Antonio's video and his stuff up here. Big thanks to these guys, and again, to you new guys, I'm excited to have you here. Let's keep going. Busy day today. We're gonna run to the tailor, get a haircut, go to the office for a little while, and go to the gym, and then do family night. A lot to do.
Which I think is somewhat undervalued. At the current stock price...
Best tailor in town, right here. Morning. How are you?
Good, you're good.
All right, done at the tailor. Next stop is the haircut. One thing that I think most people mistake when they decide that they're going to try to do custom is they get this idea that custom means that it's going to be perfect the first time and it's going to be perfect every time. Now, that's not to say that custom is not worthwhile and it's not the best way to get your clothing made, but I think a lot of times people, hold on, fire truck. I think a lot of times people expect perfection from the get-go. It's like it's a product when really custom is a process. So one of the things that I was getting done was dropping off my pants from, it was my most recent suit. In fact, if you want to see an entire fit check on that, I'll have a link up here for you to go check that out. And one thing you'll notice both in the video and in the discussion is that I was talking about how they're a little bit too short for what I want. Now, that's not because they were made incorrectly, but because my taste has changed a little bit, and because I didn't perfectly accommodate for the fact that I was lengthening the rise, which meant that I was going to be wearing them up higher, which meant that they were going to be sitting a little bit shorter. They were made correctly, but I didn't take that into account, and so we fine-tuned for that a little bit. That's normal. That's part of the process, and that's really what's kind of fun, and that's what makes it into an art form. And so if you have that mindset when you go into it, you work with a good company like Beckett and Robb, because let's say that we're doing that for a client, for one of you guys, and we decide we're going to make that change, and then it comes back in and it sits a little bit too short. We're not going to charge you extra to get that tailored up so that the length is exactly what it needs to be. We're going to get you dialed in and taken care of, and somebody should be doing that for you regardless of who it is that you're working with. So yeah, I'm lengthening the hem just a little bit. I waited so long because I wanted to wear it a few times to decide. That's another thing I really try to tell my clients is, if you're on the fence about something when you're in there for a final fitting or you're trying it on for the first time, don't make an immediate and a rash decision that, oh, all of a sudden I have to change this. Wear it a few times. I mean, I've worn this thing for like 2 months and probably once or twice a week for 2 months. And now after that much time, I'm realizing, yes, this is not something that's just going to go away. This is something that I actually do want to fix and to change. And so now it's worth it to go and do it. Do you love how poofy my hair is on haircut day? All fresh and clean with no product or no styling. Looking good.
Hey man.
How are ya?
I'm good. How's everything?
Dude, the flooring looks great. And we are done with that. I'm growing the top out a little bit more now that we're coming into winter, and I'm gonna keep it a little bit longer, but I hadn't cleaned up the sides and my beard line. Go fast, go fast, go fast, go fast, go fast. Oh, that looks a lot better.
In the letter, I explained to Marty that I recently purchased a fantastic site.
Done at the office, time to go work out. Gym done. Time to go hang out with the kids. Last week that the snow shack's open, so we're gonna go get ice cream. Family night is done. The kids are in bed. I'll see you guys later.